Desde la instauración del proyecto de TGF, nosotros no
Since the
fumigamos
DDT-GEF project started, we haven't sprayed a single house. It's been 5 years since we last sprayed. Instead, we are using new approaches like painting houses with lime and actively seeking out patients for treatment, doing diagnosis in less than 24 hours, and promoting community organization and cleanup.
These practices are complemented by other measures, such as the elimination of aquatic undergrowth, where mosquitoes can grow, draining areas with standing water, using sanitary landfill, eliminating brush near homes, using special tree species that repel insects, biological control with larvae-eating fish and biological larvicides, and the use of mosquito nets and other environment-friendly vector control methods. In all these actions, active and organized community participation is critical for planning, execution, and evaluation. Understanding the cultural context and using an intercultural approach is a key element for mobilizing indigenous leaders and communities.
Uno de los componentes de este proyecto es la interculturalidad.
One of the fundamental elements of this project is its multicultural approach. The challenge we faced was how to implement these winning strategies in localities that are home to mostly indigenous people. In our case, the Kekchi, people who live in this region. We were able to give them information and they were able to absorb that information and participate actively in surveillance and prevention.
To guarantee the project's success, organizers looked for other partners and found private companies that were willing to join the fight against malaria.
Empezamos acá en Estrada a involucrarnos un poquito junto con la comunidad.
Here in Estrada, we got involved in controlling malaria in the community because we had so many cases. Despite a series of government efforts to control malaria, there were too many cases, especially in children and people who had recurring malaria.
Another aspect that we thought was positive was the effort to get the community to participate, and then to watch how the community at the level of the individual, the family, and even at the level of community leaders actually used the different strategies that the project was promoting.
People understand that malaria is a problem for the whole community, and they're getting involved 100%. It is thanks to their help that malaria levels have been reduced to zero.
We've seen a lot of progress. We've all had cases of malaria in our own families, so we realized that we could help and that improving our own homes would benefit not just us, but also all our neighbors.
Women have played a crucial role in all these activities. Once again, they have demonstrated a strong capacity for leadership and mobilization, becoming fundamental players in the fight against this terrible disease.
The whole population was actively involved, but the role that women played was especially important. Nearly 80% of the support we had in this locality comes from women, since the men have to go to work, so they involve their wives in the work that we do, such as controlling mosquitoes, improving water drainage, and so forth.
The use of innovative educational techniques in schools and homes, such as puppets, plays, an interactive game called Palu, and malaria manuals for indigenous peoples, are other important tools to mobilize children, families, and community groups to support malaria control.
We're planting the seeds in schools with young people. These kids are growing up with the knowledge of what malaria is and how it can be prevented, and they will work in a solidary way with community participation, social participation, and the health sector along their side. I believe we can make this happen.
Another component of the DDT-GEF project has been the elimination of DDT deposits in participating countries. This has brought not only economic benefits, but also benefits to the environment and human health.
Definitivamente el DDT y los estudios que se han hecho de suelo.
Studies of DDT have shown that it accumulates significantly in nature, not to mention that the workers who spray the product show significant accumulation in their organs.
En su organismo.
The project has also supported institutional strengthening through the improvement of laboratory capacity to monitor and evaluate environmental risks to human health from exposure to residual DDT.
Dentro del proyecto DDT,
There's a point in the DDT GEF project that states the need to eliminate all strategic reserves of DDT in Mexico. The DDT GEF project has already done that. Over 87 tons of DDT were being kept by 16 federal entities. Those reserves have been transferred to a plant in the central region of the country. From there, the DDT will be taken to another country or destroyed.
Nosotros en este momento estamos trabajando con mínimos recursos.
At this point, we're working with minimal resources assigned to malaria control, because we don't need to invest in insecticides, and we don't have to invest in teams or the major operating expenses you have whenever you apply insecticides.
De operación cuando se requiere esta aplicación de insecticidas.
Understanding and fighting malaria means heading to rural areas where the tools for daily control of the disease include brooms, rakes, shovels, machetes, and old-fashioned elbow grease.
Echarle ganas para salir adelante en la limpieza.
The face of the fight against malaria has changed. Communities throughout Central America are using this new approach and working together to reduce cases of the disease. The advances achieved so far reflect the indomitable spirit of the inhabitants of the Americas, the will to overcome difficulties, and the desire to become the architects of their own destinies.
Lleve